Hey everyone, Sanjay here from Contriver podcast, and you're watching Cons and Show episode number 24. And today we are going to talk about how your company is making you, how companies are making you stay really poor. Your life goes normally when you go to 9 to 5. It will be like a routine, and daily you'll be doing the same thing. One fine day, what happens when you wake up? Suddenly, what happens? You receive a call saying that you are eligible for certain amount of loan or certain amount of credit that you are really eligible since you are working in one particular company. Let's say your company name is X, and you are just eligible for some 1 lakh or 10 lakh rupees or 10 lakh dollars of loan. So what happens? They give you something called as credit score, and since you'll be paying income tax, obviously when you earn, the government takes income tax automatically. That is how employees have been taxed, whereas the rich are taxed in a different way. I'll let you know when we are talking about taxes. So what happens? They'll call you and they'll tell you you are eligible for certain amount of loan, and you can surely purchase it. Since you are a employee of this particular company, will offer you more than what you deserve. What happens? These corporate companies, they will be maintaining their particular account in one particular bank, no matter whatever or no matter whichever transaction it makes. Or when you get into some particular company, even though if you have a bank account in some other bank, they'll just force you to do another bank account, and that will be converted as your salary account. What happens here? When they offer you something more than what you deserve, you'll feel more greedy and you'll start buying some dumb things that you never want. Look around you, look around your home, you'll be having at least 30% of things that is converted into a liability where you never use that. It might be clothes, it might be your shoes, it might be your some furniture, or it might be some gadgets and all that. They'll have a headphone that comes with your mobile phone, but still they just buy a new earpods. That's too expensive. And they'll have a bike, but still they try to buy a hatchback. If they have a hatchback, when they are traveling alone to the office, they'll buy a sedan. That is how debts are created. That is how you spend your money on liability. When you just spend the money that you don't have, what your bank offers or what your company offers, lots of companies just offer something called as, employees loan. Why do they do it? It's a form of slavery. Sounds really rude, but that's the truth. When you just spend the money that you don't have currently, you don't work for you anymore. You work for that particular company, and until that particular debt is being covered or until that particular debt has been solved, what you have to do? You just have to put down your head and you just have to work. You don't work for you anymore. You work for that particular company. And don't you feel that's a modern form of slavery? So that is how companies are making you poor. So companies also offer you personal loans, and that's a form of debt, and that's the biggest slavery. And some people, some banks, they even tell you that this is the greatest idea that you guys have ever heard. Let me explain you that idea. That is, you don't have to waste lots of money on your credit card. You give your house as a mortgage because your house has been appreciated now. It's a appreciating asset. So we can solve the biggest debt that you have on credit cards. And what do? They mortgage your house, and they tell you this interest is completely low, sir. The house loan has the minimum interest in our bank. That would be somewhere around 7% or 8%, maybe up to 10%. Okay. So what happens after that? To solve that particular loan, you just have to pay 30 more years. So that is how house loans are. You don't take house loan for just 2 years, 3 years. You take it for 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, 30 years. So until that particular debt has been cleared for 30 years, the bank will receive the interest, the bank will receive the income. That's the biggest passive income for banks. These banks and these corporate companies are the only one who are making you poor. You just have to understand that, guys. There's an old saying, I'll just end this video with that particular saying. If you dig a hole, make sure you stop it over there. Don't dig deeper and deeper. You won't be knowing how to come out of that particular hole. So make sure if you have a debt, or if your company is trying to make you poor by offering you Sodako coupons, McDonald's coupon, KFC coupons, all those stuffs, by offering you family trip for some other exotic places, what you have to do? Just have to refuse it. Obviously, if you feel like it's worth going, fine. But you have to do that in your own money, not by getting a debt. That's the biggest liability. You pay interest for that particular debt. That's the biggest liability. And that is how people are making sure that you stay in the rat race. They build lots of things, they give you lots of debt, and they make you poor, and they make you work for them. So that is how people are completely stuck on rat race. They feel like, oh my god, this company is offering me a lot, let me buy some more debt. And until that completes, it would be 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, they have to work in that particular company. That is how companies are making you guys poor. So stay aware, guys. Make sure you guys don't get into debt a lot. And in our next videos, I'll talk about the biggest criminal or the biggest vulnerability of a corporate 9 to 5 job employee, that is credit cards. So let me talk about that in my next video. See you soon, guys. Thank you.